Alright, yeah, so I want to take a little bit of time to make a video about, I'm going to call this probably the most underutilized, forgotten about safety device in the entire welding industry. Not many people even know about these things, and those that do, there's not a whole lot of people that actually use these. This particular one is the Miller t94i-r, but that's the exact model. But pretty much this is a PAPR, purified air powered respirator. It's pretty much a welding hood. It doesn't have to be this exact one. There's other models of welding hoods you can get for these. And then it's connected by this hose to a blower pack. This blower pack pretty much is like a fanny pack. It goes on your back usually. You can turn it around to be on your front depending on the environment you're in, or you can hand it to your friend to hold. And you know, it's usually not how you use these. It's usually clipped to your back, but I'm going to put a split screen up on this video, and you can see it's a video that I have of a repair I just used this on. I mean, I get into some pretty nasty environments with this, so sometimes you don't have room for this blower pack. Sometimes you have to hand it off to a friend to have them hold it. But pretty much what it is inside of here, there's a HEPA filter. There's a little battery here. It's a little battery powered unit. And there's a little fan motor in here. And it sucks air from the outside environment through a filter and then up through this hose into your hood. This Miller, it comes out on the bottom. Other ones, it comes out up top. But pretty much what that does is when you cram your noggin in there, there's a limited amount of air pocket in front of your face. And pretty much the idea is that this motor, this blower, is going to push air continuously into that pocket. And because there's air coming into a designated spot, that air has to come out somewhere, which is around this seal up here, and then on top of your head there's another one, and the air will come out, and then the nasty air cannot get in if you have enough air coming up through this hose into that air pocket. So it's like a positive pressure respirator. This one works out really nice. You see a lot of welders, they have, I mean, most people don't really use respirators in the welding industry. It's starting to catch on more and more. But you're starting to see a lot of people with these masks that are tight fitting, have these little pink discs as filters. But the problem with those is they're uncomfortable, they're hot, and then filters are pretty much on your face. So if you're welding, especially near your face level, and you're inside like a box or something, all those fumes are going into your filters directly and clogging it up, and it becomes very hard to breathe. This system, it works a lot better. There's a lot more advantages to this system, and it's way more comfortable. You notice when I wear this, I haven't seen many people on YouTube make videos with them wearing this. Those that do, it's not really a video without this. They just have it on randomly. And they're all always in like a big shop or something. And they just have it on because they're doing a nasty process. I like wearing this in confined spaces. Not really confined spaces, but like spaces where there's no ventilation. All the fumes are pretty much trapped in there with you. The job I got this on, I was actually in a box that was less wide than I was. The plates stopped at my knees, and then they went, the ceiling was 8 foot tall. And I mean, I was in here, you know, crammed up, trying to gouge and weld. And with the respirator, my filters were clogging up every 30 minutes to the point where I could not get a breath. So that got very expensive to change them filters out. But with this, we were able to get a filter to last 2 days or 2 shifts. And I was the only one using this. Really, we should have been changing it out every shift. But the second shift, I was able to clean the filters enough because during that time, it was the COVID periods and the filters were hard to get. So I made it work, but I should have been changing them every shift. But anyway, this hood, the Miller hood, the t94i-r, I'm not a huge Miller welder fan, but these Miller helmets are extremely nice, especially on their PAPR system with this little flip-up hood. I never got into expensive welding hoods until I purchased this. Now, because this has that clear lens stuff, like the blue light technology or whatever they call it, it's really hard for me to go back to the old style, the Miller Classics or whatever. So then I started getting more into the Lincoln Vikings, and then I got this ESOP Sentinel here. And even though I use this ESOB more than I use this Miller, I mean, you can see how much more tore up this Miller appears to be, just because of how the environment that it's worn in. Put this back here. And I'll shut that off for a second. We got enough in here so we can see what we need to see. Let me get positioned here. Show you what we got going on here. Just a tight fit. Right there, there's a little tiny pinhole. Right, pretty much right after I stopped the weld. So this thing's losing water, which means it's losing pressure. So this thing's losing water, which means it's losing pressure. So we gotta get in there with the welder, get it set up, and get it welded. I also don't know if it's leaking down here somewhere or not. It's wet, but I sprayed soapy water, so I can't really tell. So I'm gonna probably have to wire wheel some more of that. Get it cleaned up a little bit better. Usually we've been using 70-18 or 60-10, but I think I'm probably gonna try to MIG weld it this time. But anyway, this is a pretty basic setup. It's extremely expensive though, but it will save your life. When on the job I was at, when I bought this, the first day, I didn't wear a respirator or nothing, and I got zinc poisoning really bad from breathing in all the carbon gouging fumes. I came home that night. It's something that sneaks up on you. If you'll be gouging for a couple hours, you won't feel it. Then like midway through the day, you're like, man, starting to not feel good, but whatever, you know, it don't feel that bad, so you keep pushing. By the end of the day, you've breathed in so many fumes. You start to drive home at the end of your shift, and pretty much I had a 102-degree fever. I pretty much felt like I was gonna die. I didn't. I mean, I was more calm than my girlfriend, but yeah, pretty much like it feels like you're gonna die when you get zinc poisoning, and that's what I had. So then the next day, I really didn't want to go to work, but I had to, so I put on a respirator. I toughed it out, and the respirator, I didn't get sick when I was wearing that, but it absolutely sucked. I had to wear that for a few days before I could get this sent to me, because a lot of welding supplies don't carry this. Baker's Gas does. They have all sorts of different ones pretty much readily available. So I order everything for this through Baker's Gas. I've had to order a bunch of replacement parts for this. Not because it's a bad design or anything, but like I said, I was in a steel box gouging upwards. All the sparks are hitting the ceiling, and then just steel rain on top of us. So, I mean, the original hose I had got completely burned up. I've replaced this once or twice. Cover lenses, I replace them pretty often. More often in this than my other hoods because of the environment I'm in. I've replaced this, the clear lens. I don't think I did the side lenses. Yeah, I think I replaced one of these once, the straps, because they got all tore up. Pretty much all the consumable items on this I've had to replace just because of the environment I'm in when I wear this. And then, so when you're wearing this hood, I really like the Miller hood, because like when I was on that repair that I bought this on, I got stuff stuck in my eye, even with safety goggles and a welding hood down. It was the Miller Classic. I had leather taped all over it, and I still got stuff in my eye. I had to go to the eye doctor, get that pulled out. I got this and started wearing it because your face is pretty much fully enclosed. I have not had any single problem having stuff in my eyes, on my face, or anything. It is super nice, like super nice. The flip up thing here is really nice because you can, when I wear this, I'm usually in a dark environment, like in a confined space, and visibility really sucks as it is. And this is clear and pretty big. A lot of PAPR systems, you don't have the flip up thing. You only have the auto darkening lens. And when you're in a dark, confined environment, I mean, just looking through that tinted lens isn't really, you can't really see what you're doing. I mean, like the environment I was in with this, most of the time the only light I have is whatever work lights I bring with me. Usually there's absolutely no light when I'm wearing this, besides what I have with me. And that's another great thing about this is it has lights that you can attach. You unscrew these things you can put this light on there. These lights run on AAAs, which I need to replace them. But you have lights on your hood if you need them. It comes in this bag, and this is actually what the filters look like. Oops. Well, here's the pre-filter. It's one of the pre-filters, and then this is the HEPA filter still in the bag. I like to carry extra filters and spare parts in this bag with me, because usually when I'm using this, if I need spare parts, I need spare parts, so I usually carry them in this bag here. And then I have a lot more spare parts in a gang box here in the shop. So that way, if I have to do major changes, I have them. And then if I replace a filter on a job site during the day, I'll get another filter, put it in this bag immediately. Same thing with cover lenses and all that. But as far as just not like just the PAPR system in general, it is extremely useful. If you have to go into like confined spaces and weld, very nasty environments. If you're welding on like nasty material, doing some repair jobs, like I even used it on this chipper here in the shop, just because of all the nasty tree debris that was stuck to the inside when I did the welding repair. I used this thing because that smoke was bothering me, so I threw this on. I don't have a fume extractor here, so this is a pretty nice setup for a mobile guy. If you're trying not to breathe in all sorts of nasty stuff, or like a small time shop like I'm in, you don't have a fume extractor yet, you can get this, and it works out. In the beginning of this YouTube channel, I was doing a bunch of sealed units, cutting those apart. I have one over here. Oh, I just spilled a bunch of oil on me. Like these things here, I was cutting a bunch of these apart. And you saw it leaks oil. So when you cut that oil, when you start cutting into this with the plasma cutter, it's gonna smoke like crazy. Blow that smoke into your face. Back over here. Yeah, so all that smoke will go into your face pretty much. And what this will do is all that nasty stuff going into your face, it's thought we were in the clear, but there's another leak right there. This is ahead of, I just ended there, and that, the heat opened up another small little pinhole right here. So I don't know what's going on with this thing. I think the plate, the door plate is wearing out, and it's just opening up that seam. So I think what I'm gonna do is I don't know if I can cut this plate off of here. I just get some 7018, probably get the trans pocket back out, get her cleaned up, and just weld all the way around it. I don't want to. That's gonna absolutely suck. but I think we got to. The 6010, I don't know, I was using 3/32 6010 in here, but it seems like it creates a lot of craters and whatnot, which craters and porosity are not our friends in this environment. The MIG welder kind of worked, but I don't know, it's still pretty dirty in here for that, which makes it really hard. When you're welding on pressure vessels and stuff, always vent them. That stuff's not even going into the filter, clogging that up. So this is on your back. So I'll wear this now when I cut those apart. And this one, the blower pack, is really simple to use. It's just 2 buttons, on, off, and then you hold the on one again to go into a high. It'll beep at you when the battery's running low. So that way you know to change it. You have a little air gauge thing here. You can pop your hose off of your helmet to check how much air is actually getting pushed up into here. So you need it to be above this line to actually be effective. So once that unit kicks on, that's low. You see it's above the line. Hit that again, that's high. And we're pretty much right at the top of this. And you hold off, and it'll slow down. That's as simple as using the blower pack. So it's not hard. I do know that there is a different design for this Miller blower pack that has like a digital screen on it, and I don't know why they would do that, except for the guys that wear this in a shop, because at least where I use this, the digital screen and all the extra buttons they got over here, it's going to get tore up and it's going to be hard to use. So I don't like the new blower pack, but I have the older style one with just the 2 buttons, and that's what I really like. Because you can see in the other screen that you know, this is getting some abuse on it. I wear this a lot when I do repairs to wood boilers, just because they're extremely nasty. In the first segment of the other video of me doing the repair wearing this thing, I mean, you can see there's just all kinds of soot and ash everywhere, and none of it got into my mouth or respiratory system because of this. It filtered it all out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more I can say about it other than if you're, well, I can say stuff about it. You know, like if you're a mobile guy, I use this bag here, and it's got pockets for all the spare parts and accessories on the inside, and then there's other pockets on the outside. I always leave mine in this bag, just because, you know, it's an expensive piece of equipment, and it's like a life-saving piece of equipment. So I keep it in this bag. It's not on the truck all the time, but usually when I get a phone call and I suspect that I might use it, I will bring it along with me. Anytime I'm doing something with a wood boiler, I will wear this. It's pretty good for stainless hard facing. I wear this when I hard face heavy equipment, when I weld stainless, and even when I'm just welding normal steel in a unventilated area, or you know, like this wood chipper. If I know something's going to catch on fire and there's going to be all sorts of nasty smoke coming off of that metal, I'm going to wear this. You can wear it just welding normally, like welding normal, like normal, just normal production MIG welding, and it will help your lungs. When I was welding a lot, I didn't realize how much nasty stuff I was breathing in. But now, because I also do trees and I'm not welding every day, if I go a while without welding and then I come in here, you can see it's not a big place, and do a lot of MIG welding, even on brand new steel. I can feel it in my lungs. So I'm actually looking into getting a fume extractor in here. It's like a little small one. But when I'm doing the more intense welding, I will wear this even in the shop. So if you're doing like dual shield, self-shielded flux core, or just welding fumes in general kind of bother you, I would look into getting this even in a production MIG setup. But like I said, where I use this the most is on pretty nasty mobile repair jobs, usually with the stick welder. But it will save you. It will save your life. So that's, well, I wanted to make this video just so somebody can see this in action. Because a lot of times when I'm wearing this, you know, I'm welding pretty much right by my face. When I do the wood boilers, it's literally right by your face the whole time. So you're breathing in all that stuff. If you're not wearing this, even if you have a respirator, you're still getting some stuff into your lungs. With this, you ain't getting nothing in them lungs. And if you're in an actual confined space where you need supplied air, you can actually disconnect this from the blower pack, hook up this part of the hose to a different sort of fitting, like an air fitting, that straps to your back, and then they Miller sells a filter box that you plug into an air compressor, and then run a line from the filter box to the fitting that goes into your hose. That filter box is about $4,000 for the 2-man setup, and I think like $5,000 for the 4-man setup. And you can pretty much have supplied air to this hood, fresh, clean air from your air compressor, and be able to be in an environment where you have limited oxygen, or the environment is just so nasty that this filter cannot keep up. The job I was at, I probably actually should have been on a supplied air system, but I couldn't afford $4,000 filter box. So this actually did work. Like I said, I should have changed the filters every shift, but I didn't. That would have made it a lot better. But if you are on a supplied air system, do not plug directly into any air compressor. Make sure you have that filter box. Even like the inline filters they have for your paint gun, that's not good enough. You do need that filter box. Otherwise you'll get extremely sick, especially if you have like an oil filled compressor, or like an engine drive compressor that's getting carbon monoxide into the air tank. You're going to be breathing that, and you're going to get sick. I do know a couple guys that did do that, and they got really sick. So make sure you have a filter box if you're running supplied air. So yeah, I don't really know what else I can say about this besides every part on it. It's interchangeable or replaceable. You can, any part that is on this you can replace, because you will burn them up. I guess since I saw this, the one negative thing I have to say about it is this little screen that you see. You adjust the welding filter. It doesn't have a backlight, so when you're in the environment that I'm usually in wearing this, you usually can't see what shade of like what shade you're running. I usually have to crawl out into the light, pop the whole thing off my head so I can see what my welding filter is doing. It would be really nice if Miller could put a backlight on that. Like I have this backlight on the ESOB. I don't know if it'll do it here. Display. Oh, there we go. See how this ESOB has like a backlit screen. I don't like that it's a touch screen, but you're able to see that in dark environments, whereas this Miller you cannot. So Miller, if you're watching this, I'll put a backlight on this. Even if you don't do it on the normal T94, at least the T94 respirated system, please put a backlight on that. If you're in an environment where you actually need like a supplied air thing and you can't pop your hood off, you're pretty much pulling your whole filter apart while the thing's on your face to see what your thing's set at, or you're using like your little flashlight trying to hold it up in there. It's a pain in the dick. But yeah, besides that, I mean, that's just a little minor inconvenience comparatively to how much value you get out of this. And yeah, so I want to see how nasty this filter actually is. From the job I was doing, the wood boiler, it's actually not too bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but most of the wood boiler stuff, it's caught in the pre-filter. There's like a mesh screen, and yeah, that's where a lot of it is. So that pre-filter actually does a lot. Saves your HEPA filter a lot. The little metal thing, you can blow that out with an air compressor. The HEPA filter, they tell you not to, but I know for a fact that you can blow that out with an air compressor. If you really do need to stretch the use of that. And then, yeah, pretty much just put this back in. That's how hard it is to manage this. and maintain it. Pretty simple. So this is a lot of rambling, I know, but it might save somebody's life. So I'm gonna put it on YouTube, and then if there's more time going on the repair, I'll just leave that go. I won't talk over it, but pretty much what I'm doing is on the inside of them wood boilers, they leak. So, I gotta go in there, try to clean it up the best I can, put a weld over it so they don't leak water, and lose pressure. So, yeah. I don't know really what else I can say about this besides if you are a mobile welder getting into some nasty stuff, this thing, it will save your life. So, yeah, I know I've talked, or I've made comments on fire welding on some of his videos where I saw that he could benefit from it. But like I said, you don't see many people using this on YouTube, and it's probably the most underutilized, forgotten about safety device in the welding industry. So, yeah. If you are considering buying one of these, I definitely would. I would suggest this Miller T94 system over a Lincoln Viking, even if you're running the Lincoln Viking, just a normal hood. These Millers, especially with the flip up thing, I think the only other company I've seen do that is Speed Glass or 3M. But I don't know, this Miller, really good. So, yeah, hopefully this helps some of you. If you own one of these, or this has helped you in your buying decision, leave a comment down below, man. Kind of want to hear from other welders and their experience with their PAPR system.